All right, listen up. Everyone out there is chasing the latest plastic wonder, drooling over some new tacticool gadget that lights up like a Christmas tree. They call it innovation. I call it flimsy. But while the market is flooded with synthetic fluff, the real gems, the iron horses built of honest steel and solid wood, are quietly slipping away. Inflation, unstable supply chains, and the ever-present threat of import bans are turning these dependable tools into valuable assets. Don't be fooled by the marketing hype or the YouTube pundits who've never truly put a rifle through its paces. Today we're cutting through that noise. I'm going to tell you about 6 firearms that earned their stripes, not in a laboratory, but in the field, on the battle line, and in the hands of serious men who depended on them for their lives or their livelihood. These aren't just guns. They're investments in reliability, history, and raw American grit. Buy 'em cheap and stack 'em deep, because once they're gone, they're gone for good. Number 1. Johnson Model 1941. When folks talk about American service rifles from World War II, the M1 Garand usually hogs all the glory. And rightly so, it's a legendary piece of American engineering. But standing in its shadow, a testament to pure innovation, was the Johnson Model 1941. Melvin Johnson was a genius, a visionary who brought forth features that were genuinely decades ahead of their time, a true American pioneer. Now, unlike the Garand's notorious en-bloc clip system, which spit out that ping that everyone remembers, the Johnson utilized a rotary magazine, fed from the side. This meant you could top it off with loose cartridges or stripper clips at any time, even if the rifle wasn't empty. Think about that for a moment. In the thick of a fight, that's a tactical advantage that could mean the difference between life and death. You didn't have to wait for the gun to run dry to reload. This was a feature that took other rifle designs another 50 years to catch up to. Beyond that, it boasted a quick-change barrel capability, a concept we rarely saw in mass military production again until the hyper-modular rifles of the 21st century. Imagine the foresight required to implement such a system in the 1940s. The heart of the Johnson was its short recoil operating system, an unusual design where the barrel and bolt traveled rearward together for a short distance before unlocking. It was effective, but it did make the rifle a bit sensitive to how it was shouldered, a nuance that might not appeal to every shooter. It also had more moving parts than the simpler Garand, which, in the chaos of wartime mass production, became a liability. The real reason it didn't become the primary service rifle, however, came down to timing. By the time the Johnson was ready for full-scale production, the Garand was already firmly entrenched, with production lines churning out rifles by the thousands. The war machine wasn't going to halt to retool for a new design, no matter how advanced. Despite this, the Johnson saw limited, but critical, service. United States Marine Raiders and paratroopers carried it during the brutal Pacific Theater. These were elite fighting men, and many praised its handling and rapid-fire capability once they got used to its unique feel. The rifle, despite its quirks, was appreciated by those who truly put it to work. Its greatest legacy, however, was in its influence. Melvin Johnson's rotating bolt concept directly inspired Eugene Stoner when he was designing the AR-10, and later the AR-15 and M16. So, in a very real way, pieces of the Johnson Model 1941 live on in America's most iconic rifle platform, a true testament to its innovative spirit. Today, the Johnson Model 1941 is primarily a collector's rifle, a rare bird that commands serious prices. Parts are nearly unobtainium, and finding an original can be a quest in itself. But those lucky enough to handle and shoot one often comment on how surprisingly modern it feels, even 80 years later. This wasn't some museum piece built for show. It was a battle rifle ahead of its time. It never dethroned the Garand, but it absolutely deserves far more respect than it typically receives in the annals of firearms history. If you ever get a chance to acquire one, consider it a true investment in American ingenuity. Number 2. Remington Model 8. If we're talking about the foundational groundwork for every semi-automatic rifle that followed, then John Moses Browning's Remington Model 8 absolutely demands a spot at the table. This isn't just an old hunting rifle, it's a testament to raw, visionary genius, designed in 1906. Stop and let that sink in for a moment. Over a century ago, the working man, the hunter, the homesteader, could walk into a general store and buy a fully reliable, self-loading rifle right off the shelf. That was revolutionary. The Model 8 operated using a long recoil system, a mechanism that, in its day, was cutting edge. The barrel and the bolt actually moved rearward together as a single unit, absorbing recoil. Then the bolt would cycle forward, chambering the next round. If you ever get the chance to watch one of these in action, you'll literally see the entire barrel slide back with every shot. It's a wild, almost mesmerizing dance of steel and precision, a marvel of early 20th century engineering. This wasn't some flimsy parlor trick. It was robust, built like a tank, and designed to perform in the harsh realities of the American wilderness. The rifle was initially chambered in several proprietary Remington cartridges, the 25 Remington, the 30 Remington, and the 35 Remington. While these calibers offered solid performance for their time, they ultimately limited its long-term market dominance compared to more common, widely available rounds. However, in its era, it gave hunters a semi-automatic edge, allowing for rapid follow-up shots on game that would have been impossible with a bolt action or a lever gun. But it wasn't just sportsmen who recognized its utility. Law enforcement agencies, particularly in the rugged American West, quickly adopted it. The most famous example, etched into American folklore, is Texas Ranger Frank Hamer. He led the posse that finally brought down Bonnie and Clyde, and his weapon of choice was a modified Remington Model 8, chambered in 35 Remington. That single fact alone should permanently secure this rifle's place in the history books as a tool of justice. It never made it into widespread military service, largely because the world was still caught up in bolt-action doctrines, but in its time it was an absolute trailblazer. Its reliability and advanced design set the stage for all future semi-automatic firearm development. Modern rifles, with their lightweight composites and advanced optics, might overshadow it in raw performance today. But if you trace the bloodline, the foundational roots of every modern semi-auto, the Model 8 sits right there at the genesis. Today, the Remington Model 8 is a highly sought-after collector's item, a true piece of American firearms heritage. Finding original ammunition for its proprietary calibers can be a challenge, and parts are scarce, making maintenance a labor of love. But its value as an investment in history, and as a testament to John Moses Browning's unparalleled genius, continues to climb. If you want a piece of American engineering that truly changed the game, a rifle that defined an era and still looks handsome with its walnut stock and cold-blued steel, the Model 8 is it. It's a real working man's autoloader, and it's getting harder to find every year. Number 3. Heckler & Koch G3. The Heckler & Koch G3 is one of those legendary battle rifles that never quite got the household name recognition it deserved here in the United States. But make no mistake, across the entire rest of the free world, and some not-so-free parts too, it became a certified workhorse for decades. This rifle is built like a tank, meant for serious business, not for plinking at the range with your buddies. It's chambered in 7.62 NATO, which means barrier penetration, serious power at distance, and a level of structural durability that those lighter, plastic-fantastic carbines simply cannot match. When the lights go out and things get hairy, this is the rifle you want in your hands. At the very heart of the G3 is its famous, some might say infamous, roller-delayed blowback system. This operating system gives the rifle a unique and decidedly sharp recoil impulse. It's more of a quick snap to the shoulder than a gentle push, certainly not for the faint of heart or the recoil sensitive. But the trade-off for that stout kick is incredible mechanical simplicity and legendary battlefield reliability. This system is known for its ability to function under the worst possible conditions, from the sand-swept deserts to the humid jungles. It's a system designed by German engineers for absolute, unflinching performance. Yes, it definitely feels heavier than today's modern lightweight carbines. There's no getting around it. This is a full-sized battle rifle, solid steel and wood or sturdy polymer furniture. It's a rifle for men who are used to carrying real weight. But when the mission truly calls for serious reach, absolute authority, and the ability to punch through light cover, the G3 delivers without question. That's precisely why so many militaries around the globe kept it in active service long after sleeker, lighter designs had already come along. They understood that reliability and stopping power often trumped minor weight savings. Another detail truly worth noting is how incredibly adaptable the G3 proved to be over time. While its core design is older, it accepted rails, collapsible stocks, and upgraded handguards with surprising ease, keeping the rifle relevant well into the modern era. You can find civilian variants like the Heckler & Koch 9-1 or the PTR 9-1 that bring this battle-proven design into the hands of the American shooter. While it might not have earned the same common name recognition in America as the M14 or the FNFAL, globally, the G3 stands tall as one of the most truly underappreciated battle rifles ever made. Magazines are generally available, and 7.62 NATO ammunition is a staple, but the rifles themselves are only getting scarcer as import laws tighten and the surplus market dries up. If you want a piece of genuine military history that still packs a punch and will run when others choke, find yourself a G3 variant. It's an investment in unyielding performance. Number 4. Ruger Mini 14. Since the 1970s, the Ruger Mini 14 has been reliably running steady in the background, a true testament to its enduring design and simple effectiveness. It never got the massive spotlight, the endless debates, or the celebrity status of the AR-15. Instead, it carved out its own unique and successful role, and it still holds massive respect today among ranchers, select law enforcement agencies, and just everyday shooters who simply want a rugged, absolutely no-drama semi-automatic rifle. This is a working man's rifle, a tool you can rely on when the truck breaks down or the coyotes come calling. It's chambered in .223 Remington, which is completely interchangeable with .556 NATO, making ammunition widely available and relatively affordable. The core design is essentially a scaled-down M14, inheriting its battle-proven mechanics. You've got that classic Garand-style rotating bolt, a short-stroke gas piston system known for its reliability and cleaner operation than direct impingement, and often the option of a traditional wood stock that makes it look right at home out in the field, not in some video game. That classic profile is absolutely part of why the Mini 14 still sells today. Some buyers simply don't want a rifle that screams tactical or modern military. They want something that visually blends in, something with a more benign, traditional aesthetic, but still delivers fast follow-up shots and legendary reliability. It looks like a hunting rifle, but it acts like a dependable semi-auto. Now, early Mini 14s did have a reputation for just mediocre accuracy. Thin barrels would quickly heat up, and groups would start to walk as the barrel flexed. This was a fair criticism for a time, but Ruger, being a company that listens to its customers, fixed that issue years ago with heavier, tapered barrels and much tighter machining tolerances in later models, particularly the ranch rifle variants. Modern Mini 14s can easily keep tight groups good enough for varmints, reliable homestead defense, or solid range work. Don't let old wives' tales about its accuracy deter you from a modern example. Another angle that makes the Mini 14 genuinely underrated, particularly in today's political climate, is its unique legal footprint. In states where AR-15s are heavily targeted by restrictive gun laws, often banned outright or neutered with compliance parts, the Mini 14 often effortlessly slips through because of its more traditional, less threatening profile. It might not have a pistol grip or a bayonet lug, but it's still a reliable, semi-automatic rifle capable of accepting high-capacity magazines in free states. That crucial factor has kept it alive and selling strong in markets where other popular rifles got banned outright. While it may never permanently replace the AR-15 in terms of sheer modularity or aftermarket support, the Mini 14 has absolutely earned its place as one of the most adaptable, dependable semi-autos of the last 50 years. It's a rifle that truly works, and its value as a practical, accessible firearm is only increasing. Number 5. The .308 Winchester. Now we're getting into the calibers, and if you're talking about pure, unadulterated balance in a cartridge, the .308 Winchester is the undisputed champion. This isn't some flashy hypervelocity magnum, it's the universal soldier of cartridges, born in 1952 from the legendary 7.62 NATO military round. It has become arguably the most practical hunting and general-purpose cartridge on the planet, hands down. It doesn't scream for attention, but it performs, every single time. The .308 fires that same .30 caliber bullet you'll find in bigger cartridges, typically in the 150 to 180 grain range. Velocities are moderate, usually around 2,600 to 2,800 feet per second, putting out about 2,800 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Now, that might not sound like a barn burner compared to some of the Magnum calibers, but trust me, that's plenty of punch for white-tailed deer, black bear, and even elk, provided you know how to place your shot. This isn't a cartridge that makes up for poor marksmanship, but it rewards precision. One of the .308's greatest assets, especially for older shooters or those who value range time, is its manageable recoil. Usually around 15 to 18 foot-pounds, it's stout enough to let you know you fired a serious round, but gentle enough that you can practice without bruising your shoulder. This means more trigger time, which translates directly to better accuracy in the field. For those of us with a few too many years on the shoulders or hands that don't quite grip like they used to, a manageable recoil impulse is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You can run hundreds of rounds through a 308 without feeling like you've been in a fistfight, something you can't say for some of the bigger magnums. The beauty of the 308 is its sheer reliability and ubiquitous nature. It's not flashy. It doesn't have a cool, trendy name. But it works every single time in a vast array of rifles, from bolt actions to semi-automatics like the AR-10 platform, and even some battle rifles. You can find ammo in every hardware store in America, from $20 to $40 a box, and you can stack it deep without breaking the bank. Sure, it drops off faster past 400 yards compared to the Magnums, requiring a bit more trajectory compensation. But inside realistic hunting distances, and for general utility, it is tough to beat. For those who believe in preparedness and having a truly versatile cartridge on hand, the 308 Winchester is an absolute cornerstone of any serious arsenal. It's a tool, not a toy, and it will serve you well. Number 6. The 30-06 Springfield. And finally, taking the number 1 spot, the undisputed king of American hunting, the cartridge that has seen it all and done it all, the 30-06 Springfield. This isn't just a caliber, it's a legend. This cartridge has survived 2 world wars, countless hunting seasons, and over a century of American history for one simple reason: it does everything well. Adopted in 1906 by the U.S. Army, it immediately set the standard for power and versatility. It is the yardstick by which all other hunting cartridges are measured. What makes the 30-06 so exceptional? Its versatility is unmatched. You can load it with light, 110-grain screamers for varmints and medium game, or you can push heavy, 220-grain freight trains for moose, big bears, and anything else North America has to offer. It's the Swiss Army knife of ballistics, capable of handling virtually any task asked of a rifle. Whether you're chasing whitetail in the thick woods or stalking a grizzly in Alaska, the 30-06, with the right bullet, will get the job done. This adaptability means you don't need a dozen different rifles for a dozen different situations. One good 30-06 can cover almost all your bases. It has a recoil impulse that is stout, but for most experienced shooters, completely manageable. It's an honest kick, one that tells you you've fired a serious round, but it's not punishing like some of the ultra magnums. It is accurate, predictable, and it hits with undeniable authority. There's a reason your grandfather shot it, and his father shot it, and your father likely did too. It's a generational legacy of proven performance. You know what you're getting with a 30-06, reliable power. Beyond its performance, the 30-06 offers unparalleled logistics. Ammunition is everywhere. It will never be truly unobtainable because it's so ingrained in the American shooting consciousness. You can walk into any sporting goods store, any hardware store, and often even some grocery stores in rural areas, and find 30-06 ammunition. And it's affordable, usually $22 to $45 a box for quality hunting rounds. This means you can practice, you can hunt, and you can stack it deep for when times get tough. Surplus military rifles like the M1 Garand were originally chambered in this round, flooding the market with reliable platforms that could take this cartridge. It cemented its place in American history, not just on the battlefield, but in every hunting camp from coast to coast. After 119 years, the 30-06 Springfield is still the standard by which all other hunting cartridges are measured. It's not trendy, it's not new, but it is proven. If you're looking for a cartridge that has stood the test of time, that will always be available, and that will never let you down when the chips are down, look no further than the 30-06 Springfield. It's not just a caliber, it's a piece of American heritage, and a practical asset for any serious individual. So there you have it, 6 firearms, 2 timeless calibers, that truly embody the spirit of reliability and understated excellence. These are tools, folks, not toys. They're built of steel, wood, and hard-earned experience. They are assets in a world where things are only getting scarcer and more expensive. These aren't the flashy choices, but they are the ones that work when the lights go out, when the supply chains break, and when your life, or your family's, depends on it. Now, let me throw this question right back to you. Which of these iron horses do you trust the most, or is there another warhorse, a hidden gem, a classic caliber, that you swear by, that should have made this list? Tell me about your experience. Do you trust the 30-06 or the 308? Drop all your thoughts and expertise down in the comments section below. I want to hear what you're running and why. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with all your range buddies. And as always, stay sharp, stay trained, and I'll see you on the next one.